Hi, this is Adrianne, and I'm from Charleston, South Carolina, and I just finished Recovery Jumpstart. I joined because in January 2021, so it's been almost a year and coming up on a year in a couple weeks, I had what I think now is a crash. My body, I got sick with something, either a virus, I never figured out what it was, and I just never bounced back. My nervous system, I felt like I was in a constant state of anxiety, panic attacks, run down. I'm an athlete. My head just felt weird. It just felt foggy. It felt off. I didn't have any pain. It's just I felt like I was living in a broken body, like something was going on. The things that were really holding me back, it was fear. And I don't know why. My independence and doing stuff, like, it was just very strange. So I was scared to go to the grocery store. I was scared to drive. I would get dizzy when I drove. I was scared to run because I didn't trust my body. Am I going to faint? My heart rate would be so high. I was very sensitive to sounds. Those were the main things. Like everything positive that I loved stopped because I was just ruminating, thinking about everything that's happening in my body. Before I got sick, I didn't think anything was wrong with me. I loved my life. I was an athlete. I ran 4 to 6 miles a day. I worked out. Me and my husband went to the gym. I worked a full-time job. I didn't have any health issues that I knew of. So I ate healthy, slept, exercise, fitness was my life. So this just hit me like a freight train. Didn't know what it was. And I kept going to the doctors. I've had so much blood work done and it wasn't fine. I did not feel like myself. I was not getting the restorative sleep. I couldn't nap anymore. I felt wired, but I felt so tired at the same time. A lot of doctors were like, okay, it sounds like it's post-viral. Sounds like this could have been extreme anxiety. Sounds like dysautonomia. So they didn't have any answers for me. They just said, your blood work's fine. It was just frustrating because it's like my mind wants to do things, but my body is not letting me. I just got online on YouTube and researched and stuff. And first it started with Google and I was like, what am I feeling? I would say like heart racing when I stand up. And then I would find POTS. And then I would then read dysautonomia. And then I'd be like, I'm cold all the time. And then that's part of dysautonomia. And then I started looking at YouTube, and a lot of people were saying like, I have just a lot of people with POTS have chronic fatigue syndrome. Then I started going down the chronic fatigue syndrome route. After months and months, I found you. I found Miguel. I listened to his story, especially one of your videos at the end when you said somatic symptom, because when I was with my doctors, I had a couple of them throw that out there. So that really resonated with me when I watched your videos, and that was what they were telling you as well. Luckily was never bedbound. When I saw your story where you went from bedbound to climbing mountains and all this, and I'm just like, if he can do it, I can do it. My number one thing is I learned that this exists. We're not crazy. This is real. That's what I'm learning because there's a lot of people just like me. Number two, definitely that this is not going to be forever. That was my biggest battle. I was falling into anxiety and depression really bad because I was letting it take me over and I was letting it define me. Like, oh, this is just good. This is it. I'm never going to be Adrianne again. From your program, that was one of the first things we learned was we can change our brains through neuroplasticity, that this is a real thing. It's not going to be a pill that fixes my heart rate and then my sleep and then my temperature control and my mood. And that's what I really learned is we can fix ourselves as a whole. I really don't know what I would do without the support of this group. When you had us write down as much as you can all the negative thoughts on paper, write down your goals, try to write down positive things for the future. That is what I've really been doing these past couple weeks. Yeah, I still have some symptoms, but I'm learning to judge my body. I'm learning to talk positively to my body. I'm not crying every day. I'm not sending that fight or flight signal that we learned about in our brains, that danger, this is dangerous. It's great to have a group when you're going through these things, because you can't just call up your doctor and be like, oh, I did this. You're not getting that support anymore. If you have anxiety, it helps with anxiety to be in a group like this and to have Miguel to talk to, because I messaged him right away. It's like, there's people I've seen that have spent thousands and thousands on supplements. And like, it's just sad that it's like, this isn't more well known. I think it's just very important that you get in a group like this or in a program like this before you go down the route of taking all these supplements or going to the doctor to get these IVs to boost you. To get a little personal, like, I've seen psychiatrists, I've talked to therapists, and a lot of them have told me you can train your brain. Like, I've had people tell me you can get there. It's going to take a while. You can get there, but nobody breaks it down and says, this is how you do it. Starts with your mindset first. It starts with the mind shift first. Then you can do this. Then you can do that. And then it's going to take steps, and you need that. And I know everybody who's in this position is usually type A, like I said, and not always. This can happen no matter what, but you feel like you have control over your life and you can fix it. Like, I don't need help. And putting that ego aside and knowing you need help, you need support, you need help. You can't fix this on your own. You need some guidance. But with those tools that you give us, we will have them forever. And if we ever find ourselves back in this situation, which I hope not, this is the whole point, that we can get out of it quickly and be able to read our bodies. It really makes you think about your life and your personality and just the way you've lived your life. After looking at this program, it'll make you think. It'll make you be like, yeah, I remember like last year I kept getting sick, or I felt ran down, or I felt really anxious and I had to rest a couple days. It's like, I can't sit here and just wait for it to get better. Your diet's not going to do it. I've always eaten healthy, but that is not the way you need to approach this. You have to start with a mind shift. It's not your diet shift. It's not a supplement shift. You have to start with a mind shift, and then everything is going to come after. And like I said, this probably took years. If you are one of these people that this has happened to, like me, it was a buildup, and it probably took a while for this to crash and explode and for you to hit rock bottom. Even if you weren't aware of it, it was building up in your nervous system, and it's not going to go away that quickly. It took a while to build up. It's going to take a while for it to go away, but it will go away if you have the right mindset and the right tools. Even though you don't have the same exact symptoms, you can still use the tools for your symptoms. I started this program in November. It was actually my birthday. So it's only been a couple months, and I've already made huge improvements. I was struggling with finding a purpose, and I feel like I'm definitely getting that back, because now I'm going to the grocery store, I'm cooking dinner for my husband, and I can go to the pet store and get food for my cats. I went for a job interview today. The sky is the limit, and you make it what it is, and you can get through this. You have confidence in all of us and have always been very positive, and we all need that, because in the beginning it's just it's all negativity, and you need that. I was just like, if nobody can fix me, like, I have to find somebody who's like me. I have to find the positive. I try to look at all the positive stories. That's how I found Miguel. And I looked at a lot of videos, and I just knew that I'm like, if this guy was bedbound for months in a wheelchair, I'm not even there yet, but if you can do it, I can do it. And whoever's wanting to do this program, this is the best program. And Miguel is always there. Every time I message him, he's messaged me right back for support. Thank you, Miguel.